When your potential buyer or agent contact you to see a home, it is perfectly acceptable to request a proof of funds or pre-qualification letter prior to scheduling the showing. This shows you that this buyer is a verified and qualified buyer so that when you clean up and prep the house, you're not wasting your time. While you do not need to accept every showing request, especially if it's within the next 15 minutes or too quick of a turnaround time frame, you do want to try to accommodate as many as possible. Every rejected showing is another potential buyer. If you cannot accommodate their initial showing request, try to offer other times that do work for you. Try to create 30-minute windows for these showings. For example, a buyer arrival time between the time of 3 and 3:30. This doesn't mean that they will be done in that time, just means their arrival will be during that time frame. It can be difficult to show up right at 3 p.m., especially if they are viewing multiple homes, and most buyers will. Viewing multiple homes is actually a good thing. You want the buyers to have some comparisons so they can gauge the quality of your home versus the rest of the market. You will at times also have multiple buyers wanting to view the home. Let the buyer or agent know you do have showings between that 3 and 3:30 and can create a showing for them between the hours of 3:30 and 4. But if someone is still in the house, do please give them time to complete their showing prior to entering. This gives that first buyer that time to create the connection with your home as they're walking through. If a buyer agent is showing, while not required, a good idea will be to let them in the house and then either wait on the porch or leave and go to a nearby park. This gives the buyer privacy to be able to envision themselves living in the home and ultimately to fall in love with the home, which is absolutely what you want. When an owner is still at the property, it creates a sense of urgency and uncomfortableness that doesn't allow the buyer to fully relax. This sometimes can create friction, and that doesn't allow the emotional connection between the buyer and home. If the buyer doesn't have an agent, or you do not feel comfortable allowing the agent and buyer to walk through the home on their own, it is absolutely acceptable to be there during the showing. Let the buyer know where you will be, front or back patio, to take their time, and let them know if you have absolutely any questions that you are here. In some cases, it is still acceptable to tour the buyer through the home. Just know that it doesn't create that same experience for the buyers. If security is a concern, lock up those personal belongings that you're worried about. Buyers do not go through personal property, but it is understandable to have that concern. When you are scheduling your showing, try to have the property as close to the condition that it was during the photo shoot as possible. Have any pets with you rather than locking them up in a kennel. Pups barking or causing a stir can have a negative impact or effect on the buyer experience. Have all the lights on in the home. Turn on your smelly goods and have that gentle music such as classical or jazz music. Try to have the volume subtle enough that the buyers can have a conversation right in front of the speakers without yelling, but just create a slight vibration and ambiance throughout the home. Avoid songs with vocals or commercials so that the buyers don't think someone is having a conversation somewhere whenever they walk through the home, and creates kind of an uneasy experience. The showing can last anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour. Best practice is have a book ready and not appear rushed so that the buyer can relax and spend as much time connecting to your home as possible. The longer the showing, the better of a chance that an offer is incoming.